Hello, travelers from all over the world. Do you want to continue traveling with us and discover other parts of Argentina? If your answer is yes, then we promise we won't disappoint you. Let's go! If you haven't seen the first part of our trip around Argentina, you have missed a lot because we visited some great places, such as the capital, Buenos Aires, a city where everyone drinks mate and dances tango. We also saw the 8th wonder of the world, the Perito Moreno Glacier, and the city of incredible scenery, El Calafate. Now we're ready to continue our adventure and see how the Monkey Mafia operates, sing folk songs, and discover more incredible places, such as the 3rd largest salt flat in the world, Salinas Grandes, as well as the perfect combination of landscape and archaeology, the village of Humahuaca, and finally, the jewel of Iguazu National Park, the Falls of Devil's Throat. We begin our itinerary in the province of Salta, in its hospitable capital of the same name, also known as the cradle of Argentinian folklore. Many famous musicians come from here, and folklore is still a significant part of its culture. Here, we meet Rodrigo, a local musician who sang some beautiful folk songs for us and took us to some very interesting places. My name is Rodrigo Moro. Welcome to the city of Salta. Today we're going to walk around the main square, then stop by the market and listen to the traditional music of Salta. Salta is a colonial city. It was founded by Hernando de Lerma in 1582. Look at this monument. This woman represents Argentina, the homeland, and the 7 images on the side are the United Provinces of the Rio de la Plata. And here you can see the council building, Cabildo. It is one of the best preserved council buildings in Argentina and was built between 1600 to 1620. At some point, it was sold to a private individual, and there were stores on the first floor with people living above them. Later in 1900, the government bought the building and turned it into a museum. This cathedral dates from 1855 and was built to replace the first cathedral, which had been ruined by an earthquake. Here you can see the cathedral itself and the Archbishop's house. For almost 3 centuries now, in September, there is a procession in honor of the Virgin Mary. The festivities begin as early as August, and the procession itself takes place on September 15th. Icons of the Lord and the Virgin Mary are lifted above people's heads and carried through the streets of Salta. Many school children come here to participate. It is a grand celebration, like a big fair, that everyone prepares for throughout the year. Salta is a religious city with strong Catholic traditions. The icons of the Virgin Mary and the Lord symbolize the miracle that stopped the earthquake here in 1692. That is why there is an annual procession to cherish the miracle that saved the city from total destruction. Rodrigo told us about the importance of folk music in this region and took us to see a monument. This monument is dedicated to the memory of Cuchi Leguizamon. He was one of the key musicians in Argentina and indeed the world. Many of the chacarera and carnavalito sambas that we sing here in Salta were written by him. Why was he called Cuchi? Cuchi in Quechua means pig or piglet, and he laughed like a pig. Just like that. So that's why they call him that. In his lifetime, Cuchi Leguizamon and other artists liked to get together and share their music and other arts. At the time he played his sambas, they didn't cause much of a furor, but much later when some music specialists studied his music, they realized that he had a very different way of playing and he was way ahead of his time. That's why they put a monument here. With pies, corn porridge, tamales, wine, and even a glass with ice. Typical rhythms of this region are chacarera and carnavalito. These are types of samba. We can talk about the traditional samba from Salta. The Carper samba, these are types of pretty simple traditional music. Now we will try to play a very easy samba in terms of melody and rhythm. C major, G major, and D7th. Down, up, down, fingers down. A little faster.
Samba de mi esperanza, amanecida como un querer. Sueño del alma, que a veces muere sin florecer.
This is more or less the rhythm sequence.
Padecer, mintiendo, chau, mintiendo. El duende está enamorado, sombrero aludo dele bailar. Corta su mano de plomo las algarrobas del carnaval. Saltando, con mi mano de la navita y te voy a acariciar. ¡Bravo!
Rodrigo showed us the San Bernardo cable car, one of the most interesting ways to experience Salta. It starts in San Martin Park and ends at the top of Mount Cerro San Bernardo and offers the best views of the city.
Por las calles de la ciudad, gusto a polvo mi silbido largo, suspirando samba se me va. La montaña alimenta mi voz.
You can see the whole city from here, as well as the Valley of the Andes Mountains. Many of these peaks are over 5,000 or 6,000 meters above sea level.
Será que para el carnaval, cuando suenan las cajas, sin que me pidan quiero cantar.
That day, we saw a lot of people running or cycling up to the mountain. And at first, we also wanted to do some exercise and hike up, but then we remembered that we were on a vacation and ended up getting to the top in the cable car.
Buscando unos ojitos que no se quieren compadecer. Buscando unos ojitos que no se quieren compadecer. A la hora.
Later, we went to the oldest shopping square in town, the San Miguel Municipal Market. Here you can try typical local food and buy handicrafts. This market, like many others in Latin America, offers a wide range of goods, such as fruit, vegetables, meat, coca leaves, homemade remedies, spices, wines, and local sweets. What do you see here? It's coca. The Incas used to say that coca was a gift from the gods because it was a medicinal plant. Its leaves contained protein as well as minerals and water. The Spanish did not understand how the Incas could work so hard all day without food or water, and the secret was that they used to put a coca leaf behind their cheeks and suck the juice slowly out of it during the day. Coca can help to reduce appetite, fatigue. It's also very useful for upset stomachs or altitude sickness. Coca is not a drug. It is absolutely harmless and not addictive, and it is a very ancient tradition here. When evening came, we visited a famous music venue, La Panadería del Chuña, where families gather to eat, dance, and enjoy live music. After saying goodbye to beautiful Salta, we went to San Salvador, the city with 415 years of incredible history, during which it was founded 3 times and played an essential role in the country's independence movement. Then, we went to explore the Quebrada de Humahuaca Valley. It is located in northwestern Argentina in the province of Jujuy, about 1,500 kilometers from Buenos Aires. It is a 155-kilometer valley surrounded with the high mountain ranges of the Andes, and through which the Rio Grande River flows at more than 2,000 meters above sea level. By the way, the first thing we saw at the airport when we landed in Buenos Aires was a picture of this beautiful valley, and I confess that it was love at first sight. And of course, I was incredibly happy to see it with my own eyes. On the way, we met many gauchos. Gaucho is a term used in Argentina, Uruguay, and southern Brazil to refer to professional agricultural horse riders. Perhaps the first gauchos were people who broke ties with the past and went into seclusion to the foothills of the Andes in search of water and pasture for their cattle. There, they developed incredible horsemanship as well as the use of boleadoras, 3 stones tied with rope which, when thrown, entangle the cattle's legs. The gauchos also mastered the knife, the lasso, and recipes for preparing salted meat, one of the best in the world. The gauchos have preserved many traditional customs and traditions in their daily work. Though they sometimes swap horses for a tractor and the lasso for a telephone, they still demonstrate their legendary bravery, pride, and loyalty. In the villages of this valley, you will find an incredible blend of history and traditions. It is a truly unique experience as the indigenous peoples of this area have preserved their beliefs, rituals, festivals, art, music, and agricultural techniques to this day. It is a living heritage that was included into the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List in 2003. Quebrada de Humahuaca is a perfect combination of spectacular landscapes and archaeological treasures. The inhabitants of Quebrada belong mainly to the Coya ethnic group. Throughout its long history, this valley has been the cradle of different cultures and peoples, among which were the Humahuacas, who gave the place its name. Next, we headed to some other very interesting places, one of which is called Purmamarca. It is a wonderful little village that attracts visitors with its beautiful scenery and very friendly locals who make you see the world from a different perspective. Purmamarca is located at the foot of an impressive multicolored mountain called Cerro de los Siete Colores, which attracts tourists from all over the world every year. Another interesting town that we visited was Humahuaca. It's located 3,000 meters above sea level and has a population of 6,500 people. We really like this town. The shade of its main square, the locals selling their weaving products, the artisans who came from other parts of Argentina, and its white church. The Church of Our Lady of Candelaria, built in 1641, houses some oil paintings by Marcos Zapata, an artist of the Cusco School. Opposite the church lies the council building. It is very famous for its clock tower, from which a life-size figure of San Francisco Solano emerges every afternoon and blesses everyone. At 12 noon, Saint San Francisco Solano comes out and makes 3 slow gestures. When he raises his hand with the cross, he blesses the crowd. When he raises his hand without the cross, he shows the way to heaven. And when he raises his head, he greets the crowd. This happens here every day at noon. Later, we met a musician and charango maker who told us a little about this instrument. I have been making charangos here in Humahuaca for over 30 years, and I am the only maker of this musical instrument in this town. The hole in the deck of the charango represents a map of Humahuaca, and the cactus painted on it is a very common plant in our region. The charango instrument originated in the city of Potosí, but is now common throughout the country, especially in the northern part of Argentina. It dates back to the 1600s when peasants would use it to gather their cattle. There are well-known Carnavalito and Humahuaqueño songs here in Humahuaca. They go like this.
Entonces esto así. Llegando está el carnaval, quebradeño mi cholita. Llegando está el carnaval, quebradeño mi cholita. Fiesta de la quebrada humahuaqueña para cantar. Y el que charango y bombo carnavalito para bailar.
to add more interesting stops to our itinerary, we passed through Tilcara, another colorful town that stands out for its archaeological remains. Due to its favorable location, people settled in this area more than 10,000 years ago. Tilcara is an ideal place to take a break and spend a few days in complete peace, contemplating the slow pace of local life, the landscape, and the rich blue sky that we have not seen anywhere else. Just 2 kilometers from Tilcara are the Inca ruins, which of course we wanted to see, but we were in for a surprise. Finally, we were able to cross the dangerous bridge and reach the most famous archaeological site in the region, the Pucará de Tilcara. It was discovered in 1908 by Juan Bautista Ambrosetti and his student Salvador de Benedetti, who are considered pioneers of Argentinian archaeology. Pucaras were settlements where people lived between the 11th and 16th centuries. The location was strategically chosen to be easily defendable and to provide good views over a long stretch of the Quebrada de Humahuaca. Pucaras controlled the trade routes, especially along the Rio Grande River. The ruins were the political and religious centers of the main tribes who inhabited the Humahuaca Valley in those days: the Humahuaca, the Tilcaras, and the Tilianas. We were very impressed by the arid vegetation of the area, as well as the huge cacti that can reach 10 meters in height. They look almost prehistoric, and we were told they are about 300 years old. That's not a bad age, don't you think? Finally, we set off in the direction of Salinas Grandes. The windy route led us along the slope of Lipan, which offered the most incredible scenery. Eventually, we arrived at the Salinas Grandes salt flat, which is located 3,450 meters above sea level. This is the largest salt flat in Argentina, occupying part of the provinces of Jujuy and Salta. It looks like a vast white desert where tourists often take unusual photos. You are in the Salinas Grandes salt flat in the Jujuy province, 3,420 meters above sea level. The salt flat is 212 square kilometers long. These salt flats were formed about 5 to 10 million years ago when the tectonic plates collided and the Andes formed. The eruption of 2 volcanoes produced minerals and salts that settled at the bottom of the lake, and the lake itself was surrounded by mountains and no longer had access to the sea. As a result, a lagoon was formed, and the gradual evaporation of water from the lake and minerals led to the formation of a salt flat. In 2018, National Geographic magazine ranked Salinas Grandes as one of the 17 wildest and most beautiful places in the world. When water evaporates, the salt shrinks and creates these hexagonal salt crystallization patterns on the surface. Unfortunately, while filming at this location, our drone's battery went flat and it had a near fatal collision with the salt. Fortunately, we miraculously managed to resuscitate it, and it was subsequently able to fly again. After satisfying our curiosity in northwest Argentina, we continued our journey and headed into the jungle where the 3 borders of Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay meet. It was there that we encountered one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, Iguazu National Park, and its incredible waterfalls. There are several routes you can take to appreciate this wonder of the world, from either the Argentinian or the Brazilian side. It is worth noting, however, that Argentina owns 80% of the entire water surface. We started our route on the Brazilian side because we decided to take the opportunity to meet Brazilians and perhaps learn some Portuguese.
Senhoras e senhores, falando da área do Parque Nacional do Iguaçu, O Parque Nacional do Iguaçu possui uma área de 185 mil hectares brasileiros, 67 mil hectares argentinos. Aqui uma pequena porcentagem habilitada ao turismo. Então nós temos uma trilha única de descida e subida, de uma forma de não degradar o restante da área. Falando das espécies de animais, aproximadamente 6 espécies de felinos, como jaguatirica, puma, gato maracajá, onça pintada, 2 espécies de macaco, macaco prego e bugio, uma espécie de jacaré chamado de papo amarelo, aproximadamente 400 espécies de aves, 800 espécies de borboletas.
We are in Iguazu National Park, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Iguazu is the name of the river and of the park, which comes from the language of the Guarani tribe. I means water, and Guazu means great, that is, great waters. And they really are huge waterfalls, the most important of which is Devil's Throat, which we share with Brazil. She also explained that Iguazu Falls consists of 275 waterfalls and is the largest waterfall system in the world. Wow! Since our drone could fly again, we decided to use it to see these incredible landscapes from above. And we were so impressed with what we had seen that we decided to take a helicopter ride to see these landscapes from an even higher altitude. Finally, to get as close as possible to this natural wonder, we took a boat ride that took us straight to the waterfall, where we were also lucky enough to see a wonderful rainbow. You will now go on the Macuco Water Safari. This is a boat ride where you will get completely soaked through. Overnight, we stayed in a fantastic hotel on the Argentinian side, which is only 100 meters from the waterfalls. The next morning, when we returned to our rooms after breakfast, we saw that a refrigerator was open and some food was missing from it. At first, We were very puzzled by this, until we saw the thief himself. It turned out to be a family of very cute monkeys who were finishing the leftovers on our balcony. We decided to give them some bananas and they were very happy. After spending some time with the cute monkeys, we headed to the Devil's Throat, the bend where the two sides of the largest waterfall meet. There, we took an echo train which uses the same technology as an electric car. Then, we went for a walk on a very beautiful steel foot bridge. The previous wooden bridge was destroyed in 1992 by a flood. According to our guide, the new bridge is one of the most visited sites there. The jungle in this part of the country is home to such a variety of wildlife that at some point we thought we were on an Animal Planet TV show. We saw a lot of unusual birds, exotic insects, monkeys, and finally, every tourist's favorite animal, the coati. In the Guarani language, the word coati means elongated nose. Coatis are so famous here that there are even pictures of them on the tour buses. To finish our trip, we went to see the Triple Fronteer. This is a tri-border area between Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay, where the Iguazu and Paraná rivers converge. Near the confluence are the cities of Puerto Iguazu, Foz de Iguazu, and Ciudad del Este. After filling our lungs with the fresh jungle air, we decided to return to Buenos Aires before leaving this wonderful country. The last days we spent there were filled with romance, history, gastronomic diversity, and beauty. We visited two places that I recommend to all of you: the tango show El Querandi and the restaurant La Estancia. I can assure you that El Querandi is the best tango show in town because we show the most authentic tango. Here, you will not see a lot of lights or any special effects. Everything is simple, like in the old days. The El Querandi Tango Show is performed in a small restaurant in the San Telmo district, where we were able to appreciate the famous Argentinian tango performed by world tango champions, a live orchestra, and singers. We were also lucky enough to see a couple of the 2016 World Tango Champions dancing. In addition, during the show, the evolution of tango was explained, starting from the brothels where it originated through the present day. I was so impressed by this show that I even decided to buy myself a pair of shoes and start dancing tango. What do you think about it? After satisfying our hunger for art, we went to satisfy our real hunger at the La Estancia restaurant. The menu at this place is very varied and includes a variety of typical dishes from different regions of Argentina. There, we tried the best Argentinian grilled meat, accompanied by exclusive Argentinian wines. And this is the end of our trip to Argentina. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see our next trip to sunny Spain. See you soon, world travelers!